Lawin Media Network,
bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
The following program is produced by Lawin Media Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Lawin Media Network, its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. The content provided in this program is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Lawin Media Network does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or timeliness of the information.
Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome again to our episode 10 of Be Bold, Why Not? At magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat dyan sa Pilipinas, sa ating mga viewers. Maraming salamat po for always following us and watching our show. And we are live on Facebook, YouTube, stream.lawin.live, and twitch.tv. Of course, we have a game every night. So for all our viewers, I encourage you to watch, participate. Feel free to have your comments or questions, and we will try our very best to answer them. So why be bold? Well, be bold, it's because, in our lives, sometimes we just need to take that bold step to make a difference, to do what we love to do. And that's what we're here for at Be Bold, Why Not? Is to encourage you and empower you and inspire you and motivate you in anything that you do. So your host here, MJ, I'm very privileged to have a very, very special guest for tonight. And she is a very strong leader in our Filipino nurses community. And she has been a nurse for a very long time. And she's very precious because she is sharing her very important insights with us tonight. And I am very honored to have in our show no other than, of course, Dr. Gloria Briones, our current Philippine Nurses Association president. So Dr. Briones, welcome to the show.
All right, MJ, good evening. And to all my colleagues across the country, good evening. And I want to correct MJ, I passed the torch to Dr. Saria as of July 20 of 2024 in Long Beach, California. I was the immediate past president of the Philippine Nurses Association of America 2022-2024, but Dr. Saria is the current president. So with that, thank you for inviting me, and just to let you know, you are the first one that I allowed myself to be passionately involved in this podcast. Besides from PNF America, I have not allowed myself for the invitations that I've been receiving for the past 2 years. So here I am because I wanted to support the Filipino American colleagues here in Houston, leaders here in Houston, nurse leaders, and clinicians for that matter, as well as my colleagues across the country that I truly, truly value and respect.
Wow, that is awesome point. I really appreciate it so much. It's an honor for you to actually accept our invitation, and I was very happy when I emailed you and I got your response right away, and it's like, wow, thank you very much. And we saw each other last weekend, and you seem to be very excited to share your, your story, to give some inspiration to our viewers and to our listeners. By the way po, other than we are live on Facebook, YouTube, stream.lawin.live, and of course twitch.tv, we are also on different podcasts like Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So yes, we are actually being listened to by a lot of our viewers and listeners. And I know that tonight will be a really exceptional night because I have you as a guest, and I'm so honored because I'm a nurse by profession as well. And thank you for supporting this podcast. This podcast is through Lawin Media Network. And our aim in the community, our mission is to educate, inform, empower our viewers, because this world, we don't know what's going on, right? There's so much chaos, and I think giving each other, lifting each other up, and giving inspiration is what we all need at this hard times. It's just been hard recently for the past years, let alone with the pandemic and everything. But it's an honor for us to have you, Dr. Briones. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. And I think I still had in my mind that you're still the president, because last May, when we had our gala, you were still the president. So that stuck in my mind. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. But anyhow, before we get to the nitty gritty leadership topic that we want to learn more about you, your personal life first, like where you are from the Philippines. We want to know about your family. So can you just share with us and our viewers, Dr. Briones, where you came from, and children, and just we want to love to know who's Dr. Briones other than a nurse leader and a community leader.
Perfect. So I am a migrant nurse in the United States of America, and I want to share that story to all of my colleagues because each one of us has a narrative to tell. And that is very humbling to say that I belong to 9 siblings. My mom and my dad did not finish college, but really into sending their children to school. That was their mission for us to go to school. So I'm the second among the 9 children, 5 boys following me, and 4 girls. And 2 of my sisters are nurses here in the US. One is a nursing director at the Methodist Hospital here in Houston, a step down for a unit that is like waiting for the heart transplant, all those 𝙒𝙗𝙗. I'm proud of her. That's our youngest sister. And my other sister is a pediatric PACU nurse, actually, at the Children's Seattle in Washington, the state of Washington, and also very, very passionate clinician. So with that, I am just letting you know that I am a pure Ilongga, loving, kind, and our faith-based family. I grew up with that. Uh, if
Wow.
there's something that I'm very proud of, MJ, is my upbringing of being really grounded that there is the Lord Jesus, our
Yes.
Lord Savior. So faith-based family, happy family. Don't have a lot, but very loving. Grew up in a very loving parents and siblings.
Wow, that's
From
amazing.
Bacolod. I'm from Bacolod.
Oh, okay, well, that's good. Hello to all the people from Bacolod. And I know Ilongga, they say they're very sweet. And the way you talk, you're always very soft spoken and like sweet. And like, yeah, that's the very common trait of Ilonggos, right? Po? Yeah. So I believe, yes, I I I can relate to you. I mean, even though I did not grow up in a like, well, there's no perfect family, but I did not grow up in a very strong, functional family. But I also grew up with so much faith. But because of the hardships in life, we come out sometimes better people. And because we know that failures, and the deeper the failures, the harder life is sometimes, the better people we become, because we learn so much from all these struggles, right? But I wanted to ask you, Pop, did you always want to become a nurse? I'm just curious, because nursing in the Philippines especially is a very hard job, let alone we don't get paid that good, right? So I'm just curious if you always wanted to be a nurse, or did you become a nurse in the Philippines, or did you pursue it here? How did you become a nurse?
Well, I think it's really a partnership of my parents. I wanted to be a doctor, but we cannot afford that.
Mhm.
Early on, we knew that. However, he promised me, my dad, that I will be straight. I don't have to worry anything. I will be in the nursing program. I have nothing to do but study. And that's exactly what I did. Just study. And I
Yeah.
loved it. I loved it. I graduated number two in our schools.
Hmm.
So at a very young age. So with that, the training was intense, but
Uh-huh.
loving it. And then really became a faculty. They took the highest, the top three students of the class,
Mhm.
and really put it in another school as faculty, knowing our training and the background of the school. So I became a faculty at an early age and continue schooling at the same time for my BSN.
Mhm.
That it continued the love of teaching and the love to coach and to teach students at a very young age.
Mhm.
And I just, MJ, early on, I knew that I have a
Yeah.
mission to help my parents, because at that early age, I was blessed to have two, if you will, blessed jobs. I was at the daytime, I was teaching at an early age of 20.
Wow.
And yeah, yeah, because they picked up the top in the class to
Mhm.
teach. And then I was an industrial nurse. So I'm
Mhm.
getting two paychecks at an early age, at the
You're
age of
so
20.
blessed, Napo. That's very true. Because in the Philippines, I remember when I first started as a nurse, I remember my pay was like 4,000 pesos, and that's like $80, right? For a whole month. Yeah. So, but with you, I mean, at an early age, at 20, I mean, you were working two
Yeah,
jobs, and you were,
yeah,
wow, that is so
yeah.
amazing, because I can see how driven you are, and you have that leadership ability ever since, probably, like, were you always like in the family, even because you're like a family of nine siblings, right? So were you among those, because you're the second in the family, so were you always the one that they always go to, like the ate that always gave advice to your siblings, and that they can ask for help? Were you always that one in the family, po?
Yeah, I would rather describe it as very caring to my
Mhm.
brothers and sisters. I
Mhm.
always wanted them to look good.
Mhm.
For an early age, I wanted them to have good hairstyle. My younger sisters who are nurses now would remember that. I will cut their hair and make them look good. Then when I have money, I brought them to the parlor. So
Oh,
early on, I have that kind of loving kindness to my brothers. I would
yeah.
buy them their clothes when I
Uh-huh.
travel. Like I was an associate editor of our school
Yeah.
paper, or when I was in high school. So I was in Baguio traveling. When I go home, I'm not buying for myself. I'm buying for my brothers, buying for our home to make it beautiful. And I
Mhm.
always have that sense of kindness
Wow.
and responsibility for them. And
Well, that is so impressive, and that's so good. And I think I can relate a little bit because I'm also the second of five, and I have always been the one that look out for my siblings, even our oldest, even up to now. So anyway, we're gonna read some comments, po, and then we're gonna go on a short break. But let me read some comments. We have here from Aramina Ungria. Good morning, Mom MJ. Watching from Pangasinan. Wow, thank you so much, Aramina. And of course, we have Lisa Ungria also. Good morning, Mom MJ. Watching from Pangasinan also. We have a lot of fans from Pangasinan. And then we have Alvin Reyes. Good morning, Mom MJ and Mom Gloria Beriones watching from Pangasinan. Thank you, Alvin. And we have Tita Delia or Inday Ligot. Inday. Oh, wait. I can't. It's a little bit tiny. I can't read. But anyway, thank you so much, Inday. Thank you
Inday
for
Lapu.
watching. Yes. And we have Geraldine Garcia. Good morning, Texas. Watching from Villasis, Pangasinan. Wow, we have, yes. And we have, Tita, do you mind reading it if you can?
Yeah, good morning, Mom MJ and Mom Gloria. I'm watching from Pangasinan.
Wow.
Rodrigo Fabia.
All right. And then the next one.
Good morning, Texas. I love watching your show, watching from Pangasinan. Ooh, Alexis Oliveros. Wow.
Wow. Thank you.
Good
And then
evening, Texas. Watching from Pangasinan. God bless your show. Ruby Vergara. Are these nurses?
they're
Delia.
not, but they've been watching our show forever. So I'm so glad they're very loyal viewers of Bibold. Why not? And we have bought Tita Delia Ligot.
Good
Yeah, good.
evening, MJ. And to the guests, so proud of this show. Wow.
Oh, thank you very much. And of course, we have Juvelin Reyes. Good
Good
morning, Ma'am.
morning.
Yeah, and to the special guest watching from Pozorubio, Pangasinan. All right, well, we have a lot of viewers tonight, and thank you for always following our show. And we're gonna go on a short break, and we will be back, and we will continue our chat with Dr. Beriones. See you in a bit.
How to join the game. 1. Watch the live show and listen to the conversation. 2. Participate and share your experiences on the topic during the live show. 3. Type your thoughts or experience via comment section. 4. All participants are eligible to win a prize. 5. The more you comment, the greater your chances of winning. 6. We will use Wheel of Names.
All right, we're back. We're back. Thank you so much, Tita Gloria, for helping me read those comments. I guess you're going to do it for tonight as you will be answering some of the questions. And at the same time, you're going to help me read those comments so we won't miss our viewers. So, again, so going back to the Philippines. So, when did you migrate to the US, po?
I'm sorry again. I did
Yeah.
not.
When
There's
did you
some breakup.
migrate to the US?
1976,
Oh,
August of
so what brought
1976.
you? Were you petitioned by a hospital, or were you did you come here per family petition or as a nurse na po?
It's a working visa, a hospital in Nacogdoches, the oldest town here in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
northeast of Houston, 150 miles northeast of Houston. That's
Mm-hmm.
my humble beginning here in Texas.
Mm-hmm. So how was it different? Like the practice in nursing in the Philippines, how was it different po when you came to the US? Was there a big adjustment on your part? Or just because you are naturally a very caring and very kind person that it just came out like naturally for you to care for a new set of people, a new kind of patient population? Was there any difference or were there any challenges that you encountered when you first arrived in the US?
Yes, it's really about language barrier, uh, the fear of not really understanding the way the slang, as the folks out there really can speak very fast, and
Mm-hmm.
the slang language, the jargons that are being utilized by the people, and so that was kind of a struggle to start with. I was afraid to pick up the phone to talk to a physician whom
Mm-hmm.
I may not understand what the order would be
Mm-hmm.
until I get to truly build that confidence that I
Mm-hmm.
realize I have just to listen carefully and listen to the news, not know the television that we
Yeah.
watch are in English. So
Mm-hmm.
got to listen better the way they pronounce the words by the natives here, if you will, and building that confidence by having the conversation with your colleagues that you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
It is really the transition to the new place. The language barrier is very, very strong. Now,
Yeah, and I
how
think yeah, and I think even up until now, that's one of the most common things, especially those that are coming here in the US as nurses from other countries like India, Nigeria, the Philippines. Although we are known to be good, a country who speak good English, is still there is some type of difference in the way we speak, the way we pronounce words. And sometimes I've experienced when I was new in Lubbock and I was charging too, and we would page a doctor and he would like, may I speak to someone who speaks English? I'm like, oh my gosh, I know I can relate. But you're right. Just practicing with your colleagues and trying to learn, really understand them and doing your part, that kind of build up our confidence. So other than the language barrier, is there anything like, especially in care, the patient care here in the US, is there something more challenging than the patient population that we take care in the Philippines?
yes, the use of the equipment, we do not have them in our country. That's
Mm-hmm.
just textbooks and journals. So to come here, I would really emphasize the orientation and hands-on. And my research study for my dissertation really showed the importance of hands-on training of this equipment, like the use of the SCDs, the ventilators, the different kinds, and the use of the IV pump,
Mm-hmm.
um, the uh, the PCA pump, because we don't have them there. You see
Yeah.
them in pictures. So hone on whoever is listening out there that is with the orientations of the newly arrived Filipino nurses. Hone on the equipment. Use hands on, please, because that's what they need.
That's right, po. And now with the advent of technology and YouTube or Dr. Google, right? They can actually learn and prepare themselves ahead of
Yeah,
time.
that's
Yes,
true.
and that will make them feel better when they come here. It's like they're ready. And the beautiful thing really about Filipino nurses is we actually adapt so pretty quickly. Don't you agree, Dr. Briones?
Oh, resilience, talking about adaptation to the new place.
Mm-hmm.
That's truly, you know, when I interviewed one nurse during my dissertation and throughout the career, many years, you ask them, why are you so successful? And in transitioning, they said they have a purpose, they have a goal, and they know that goal is never to say, I can't do this. Perseverance for what they know they can do it. They read a lot and they observe. So we want all the colleagues out there, tenured nurses, show
Mm-hmm.
them the way, because the right thing to do, because they do observe us how to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they learn as well. And they ask a lot of questions. So be patient. Oh,
Yes. Yeah, and as again, being a new nurse, sometimes we feel afraid to ask, right? But you'd rather look like you don't know everything than making a mistake, because we are dealing with lives here. With one mistake or one error of giving a medication that is dangerous can put somebody's life in line. So I've always had that feeling too, like when you become a more seasoned nurse, it's like you should be willing to mentor. You should be willing to precept. You should be willing to coach those younger nurses, because we are preparing them to actually become the next leaders, the next charge nurses, the next manager, and all that. So now I'm going to ask, but we're going to go like get into some leadership now. So after how many years that you actually practiced here in the US that you started assuming or becoming a leader in maybe in the hospital, in the unit, or tell us about that, what your journey to starting to actually live your purpose of becoming a nurse leader, not only in the organization but in the community.
all right. Well, let me start by saying that we are well prepared as nurses in the Philippines, coming from the Philippines. To my colleagues listening right now, we are proud because our training, our education is pretty comprehensive and very equal to the US. In terms of clinical experience, we are higher because we do clinicals intensely with the number of cases that we have to do before graduation, the number of our cases, the number of cysts and major and many deliveries. So we come out at the age of 20 after graduation. You, MJ, and the rest of my colleagues that are listening feel confident that our training is really has prepared us to
Mhm.
be who we are as nurses at the bedside. Although, when you come to the US, it's a different practice. You have to learn the US nursing practice, which is understandable. But going back again is to ensure that we learn in to know the policies of the hospitals where we are, know them, because that's where the guiding that will protect you as well when you know that, and the standards of practice, particularly in your field that you're getting into. And so having the Philippine Nurses Association of America, we have now 57 chapters across the country with in 29 states. We have big brothers and sisters that assimilate them to
Mhm.
show them the way here in the US. So, to my colleagues out there in the Philippines that are coming here in the US, be proud that you have big brothers and sisters that will help you to acclimate here in the US, but also be open,
Yes.
be humble to say, I want to learn, I want to be coached, I want to be mentored. Um, MJ, I just wanted you to know that coaching, mentoring is very important. That's the key. And I can just quickly mention to you, as I'm reminded today, two of my young mentees that I did back in Tennessee, when I was in Tennessee. One
Mhm,
is now a professor,
mhm,
graduated with PhD
mhm,
at the University of Tennessee last December.
mhm.
She was a fresh graduate when I met her in the hospital when I was an educator in St. Francis in Tennessee. The other one is now a nursing director, and just today was talking to me, and he said, "You made my day," because these two came to me when I was new in this place, asking me, "Dr. Barriones, can you be our mentor?" And
Mhm.
look where they are now, MJ. One is a professor at the University of Tennessee, and one is a DNP graduate, a director at Grady Hospital in Atlanta. So
Wow. So that is a product of you being a great leader, a mentor, a coach, and everything. And their success is your success, right? So we're gonna read some more comments, Paul, and then we will go on another break, and then we will continue our wonderful chat. So let's read some comments. All right. So let's see. The first comment here. Do you mind reading it, Dr. Briones?
coming from Joan Istareja. Good morning, Texas. Watching your show, and good morning po, Ma'am MJ and Ma'am Gloria. Watching from Pangasinan again, MJ.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
And said Inday Laput is a dear friend of mine who is a member of the PN of America Executive Board Auditor, Regina uh, Laput. Good evening, watching from Michigan. Dr. Gloria Berriones is one of the great leaders of PNAA America. I love her, very caring and God-loving leader. Thank you. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Mafe Cheese. Here's another mentee that I have, who is now a DNP. Outstanding leadership. That's from Mafe Chase, the
Yay.
Assistant Secretary of PN of America 2022-2024.
Oh, wow. Thank you for all those comments. And we will go on a short break and we will be back. See you in a bit.
Thank you, MJ.
Again, thank you, Dr. Gloria Briones. It seems like we have some of your mentees watching us tonight, and thank you so much for watching our show. Now, I'm gonna ask you, I'm just curious because I know you, being a leader, you've coached, you've mentored, but do you have somebody or do you have people in your life that also did the same thing as you are doing now to those younger nurses that have coached you and motivated you and empowered you and encouraged you to be the person that you are now and that just are part of your success as a leader in the nursing community? And who are those people, Pa?
So I want to mention a couple of people that really, from Houston, have touched my heart, and I will never forget them. Mr. James Pospos is one.
Mhm.
Lito Silva is one.
Mhm.
Uh, those are the people that really pushed me to become who I am right now. I didn't feel any kind of jealousy. Rather, they wanted me. They introduced me to the Philippine Nurses Association of America. That to me, I will forever, ever remember. And I will do the same thing to my colleagues. But one thing I would like to share is to be humble.
Mhm.
Humble is key. Humility is very important to me. You cannot touch me if you are not practicing that. I will never, never say
Mhm.
that I am with you if I don't feel that. So
Mhm.
that's something that I really wanted to impart to the leaders out there. Be humble. Let people grow. Empower them.
Mhm.
Don't assume that you alone are the best. Don't.
Mhm.
Allow people to grow. Allow
Yeah.
them so that they will grow better than you, better than me. The
Mhm.
other piece is from the PNA of America. I'd like to mention a couple of really Leo Horado has Ray Rivera,
Mhm.
May Mayor,
Mhm.
Lolita Compass, and many more that I really have. I basically have Pete Calixto, Dino Doliente, all these people through the years have touched my lives, so
Mhm.
that I see in them the leadership that I'm proud of who they are.
Mhm.
Um, one thing again, I'd like to remind us is to lift up each other,
Mhm.
lift each other up,
That's
especially when one is up there who needed your support, loving support. So we can learn
mhm.
that the loving kindness is always very, very much needed by each and every one of us. Loving kindness.
That's very true point. It can go a very long way when we do things out of love and compassion and kindness. Everything just seems to be a better condition in any in our community, right? Even in our own family, if we don't exercise those, there's so much chaos, there's so much misunderstanding, there's hatred, there's division. But if we exercise and practice compassion, and that's very natural, I think, I believe that nurses are born to be compassionate. Nurses are born to be kind. So when we do that, not only to our patients, but to the people around us that we want to make a positive impact with, with everyone that we come across with, that can go a long way because that can be a ripple effect that whatever kindness we show to other people, the people that we share this kindness with, they will do it to the other to people that they encounter with. So it makes this world a better place. So with your tenure in the Philippine Nurses Association of America, 2020 to 2022 to 2024, I want our listeners to actually learn about your mantra. I
Mm.
wanted if you would please share your mantra. We'll just give an overview for now and then we can go deeper when we come back after the last break. But for now, Paul, can you explain briefly your mantra during your term as the PNAA president?
So it's our united voices, meaning I'm not alone. I cannot do it by myself. It's you, MJ, and all of us together. Our voices will be louder, louder because we need to be heard as minority nurses. We need to be heard that we are competent and compassionate nurses here in the United States and around the world. And
Mhm.
that's we care. Our united voices, we care stands for we care, wisdom, the wisdom to know what is right, excellence, the passion to do what is always excellent in practice, education, research, community outreach, and whatever we do for our patients and ourselves and others. Collaboration, collaborate, always collaborate with others.
Mhm.
Advocacy, that's the work of who we are as nurses, to advocate for our patients, for one another, for the nursing profession, and respect. The foundation is about respect. As much as we are unique as individuals, respect each other.
Mhm.
And equity. Equity. I am into health equity. So let's talk about it when we come back.
Yes, yes. And so we care. Wow. So that's that embodies we care actually embodies the whole nursing profession, right? It's universal because that's what we do. We care for the people around us, we care for our patients, we care for our colleagues, we care for our profession. And you have put it in that two word, the mission of being a nurse, the vision and the mission of PNAA. And that is so profound. And yes, we can talk more about it when we come back. But I also want to ask, other than or outside the nursing profession, do you have like leaders out there that you look up to other than professional nurses?
Out there in the community, uh, well, my colleagues out there, I've been global now as I went to the World Health Organization. So
Mhm.
I look up all those people from the labor organizations, from the World Bank, from people that truly have the passion to make a difference in the lives of the poor people. That's
Yeah.
what I really wanted to see.
Mhm.
How do we really put this into perspectives? So when we come back, but I wanted to just say, MJ, that my mantra, I want to say thank you to Ninuchka Bridges.
Oh, yes, Dr. Touch. Yes.
Bridges,
Mhm.
yes, as well as Dr. Lavinaria, Dan Lavinaria. They helped put together when I asked them, when they asked me, what do you really want? And I described to them what my vision is and my
Mhm.
passion is. So they created this beautiful mantra, the model, the logo, if you will. And
Yes.
I just want to thank both of them forever. I am grateful.
Wow, that's very good. Yeah, Dr. Bridges, yeah, she's very great. I mean, all of the PNA leaders in the Houston community, you all
Mhm.
have achieved, like, you have made the image of the Philippine nurses in Houston, Texas, and even in the national in the United States of America. You were right. We need to be heard. We need to be seen because not everybody know you. We don't realize how big is our force here in the US. It's like, I'm not kidding, Paul, like at MD Anderson, there's like, I think majority of the nurses are Filipinos, and I'm so proud when I see them. It's like, wow, we are in the number one cancer center in the world, and there's a lot of Filipino nurses there, and we are just so happy that we're here to serve. But anyhow, we're gonna read more comments, and then we're gonna go on our last short break. So let's read more comments. All right.
Good morning, MJ, and this heart from Evangeline Concepcion.
My mother-in-law po. Good morning po, Nay. Thank you for watching. Yeah.
And then another one, good morning po, watching from DC, Edward Deseco.
Wow. Thank you.
And from Rochelle Deseco, good evening, Texas, watching from Pangasinan. Ooh,
Yes.
you
Thank
got
you, Michelle.
Josephine from Miss Josephine Abalos. Good evening, Texas. Josephine Abalos watching from Pangasinan. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, MJ and Dr. Gloria. God bless. From Mark Carlo Dasico.
All right, thank you, Mark. And again, we are going to go on our last short break, and we will be back to wrap up the show with Dr. Briones. See you in a bit.
Thank
Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows.
All right, we're back. And before I forget po, Tita Glo, I just want to thank you for reading those comments and helping me tonight. You know, it seems like you're not only my guest, but you were my co-host for tonight. Thank you. And now, yeah, can you expound or explain more about your mantra? I know there's a part of your mantra that you just want to dig deeper and just have our listeners learn more about that, hopefully will encourage and empower, especially our Filipino American nurses here in the United States of America. So what is that part of your mantra that you just want to specify po?
I think it's so important that as nurses and as human beings that the wisdom is there to know what is right and to stand up for what is right. And that's the wisdom part of it, that we are guided for choosing the right thing, always doing that. Do not sacrifice something that you feel is the right thing. One thing is lifting up. We are nurses. We have to lift up the nurses. We are not doing much for us. We want to acknowledge others, but not enough for our nurses who are really doing excellent work out there throughout the world, throughout the country. So we need to really put the voices of the nurses up. One thing that our colleagues are missing. Number two is excellence. In whatever we do, there's always that mission of doing the very best of yourself. Doing the very best, not for your own self, but for the purpose, the mission of what you want to do for others. Don't take that away, but zero into the mission of what you are doing. Don't then collaborate. Collaboration, PNF America has done a lot of Alzheimer's. We are a partner of Alzheimer's Association of America. And there are now continuation, the education of people, webinars that what are the risk factors of getting Alzheimer's or any form of dementia, as the mission of Alzheimer's Association is to eradicate
Mhm.
all forms of dementia. So as nurses, we need to make sure know the risk like lack of sleep, lack of exercise, the food that we eat. So again, healthy food, healthy lifestyle, and well-being, promoting that health and well-being is so important. And teaching the communities out there. We are also members of this Massachusetts Collaborative Center for CCXDP, dystonia, Parkinsonism, that
Mhm.
is endemic in the country, the Aklan province. So that is very specific that they partner with the PNF America in order for this to have this kind of um, awareness of the disease that's
Yes.
really been happening in that part of the country. And the other piece that I wanted to say is the many programs of PNF America that we have, like Arlita Pang is leading the scholarship, the Philippine Nursing Scholarship Program in the Philippines. For the first time, there will be 4 students that's going to be sponsored by PNF America from the state colleges, uh,
Mhm.
2 from Luzon, 1 from Leyte, and 1 from Mindanao. This is randomly selected.
Mhm.
And she's leading this and a group of very passionate leaders that I'm very, very proud of. So Arlita is leading this. It will be done. They will start this actually soon. The MOA is going to be done. So Arlita is doing an excellent job for this project. So it's the Philippine Nursing Scholarship Program, and it's a task force that she's leading. Then
Mhm.
Camp Aruga too.
Yeah.
Wow. That is
Mhm.
really about building that relationships is key, that emotional intelligence of leaders, as well as leadership skills. How do you really ensure, and it's all workshop
Mhm.
in beautiful nature settings, not in a classroom. We don't like classrooms. It's out
Yes.
there in the nature. We were
Mhm.
then to Shenandoah Park in Luray. I think it was in Virginia. So
Mhm.
many other program like the Leadership Development Program, the KEWP that Dr. Mauricio is leading. Um, I believe the right now we are having a meeting, and I said, I'm sorry, I will be with MJ with this program. They're doing the P3, which is the mentoring program. So
Okay.
all of these programs of the PNF America are touching the lives of the Filipino American nurses and the communities out there, because they too are giving that back to the people in their communities. And then the other part is equity. Health equity is dear to my heart, MJ.
Yes.
So if there's this one thing that I want to promote here in Houston, and I told Jonathan Gikoma, the president here, when he was asking the past presidents, what committees do you want to belong? I said, I want to belong to the membership committee,
Mhm.
because I wanted to increase that membership. The bigger we are, the bigger are the voices of the Filipino nurses throughout the country and the world. So,
Yeah.
Jonathan, we are all together in this. And the community outreach, health equity to the poor, to the
Yeah.
underserved communities really the key here. So,
Wow.
for that matter, I'm telling you, when I was at the World Health Organization, June 17 and 18 of this year, I see this big billboard saying health for all, health for all, meaning whether you're rich or poor, you
Mhm.
have health. You can access health when you need it. So that's where the direction that we wanted PNF America and all the chapters out there are trying to help, that our people can have access to healthcare, to have healthy people.
Yes, because how can we serve our patients if we're not healthy, di po ba? So we gotta take care of ourselves. So for all of you who are listening, watching, or if you want to join the Philippine Nurses Association of America, you can go to mypnaa.org and then register or join to become one of us. We need to increase our voice. We need to increase our presence. We need to follow the leadership of Dr. Gloria Briones, who is very, very passionate about empowering our nurses, educating not only our nurses, but also the community, and serving the community with all the different projects of the Philippine Nurses Association, which I am also proudly a part of. I have been part of the Philippine Nurses Association of Metro Houston for the past so many years. I have served as secretary during Arlita Pang's term, and then I was also the education chair during the term of Alyssa Espinoza, and now I'm the current vice president with Jonathan. So I am following your footstep. I'm preparing myself to become one of the leaders of PNA in the future. And just like you, po, I have the passion of serving. I couldn't imagine, or I couldn't see myself just doing nursing from my job and then coming home. If I don't have any involvement in the community, I don't know, my life would be so boring. So for your last powerful words, encouraging words, and inspirational thoughts for our viewers, po, what are your last? I just love our conversation tonight, and I just wished we have more time. But I really, really do appreciate your precious time and sharing your story and sharing your mantra and just empowering and motivating our leaders that we nurses, we are not just taking care of patients. We actually are leaders in the community who actually make a difference with our community outreach programs and our other different programs of the Philippine Nurses Association. So what are your last words, Paul, for our viewers?
I'd like every nurse out there that are not part of the PNA Metro Houston or PNA North Houston or any chapters across the country, be a part of that and be the voice of the Filipino American nurses in the United States and around the world. However, I want more of my colleagues to lift up nursing, the nursing profession, highest to the highest level. Recognize the nursing profession, because if we don't, nobody will.
Yes.
Take that seriously. Promote the nursing profession as we deserve it, and serve with humility and gratitude, always with gratitude, because we are given this freedom here in the US, and giving back our very best to them. They recognize, let me tell you, they know the Philippine Nurses Association of America, the local chapters out there, and I'm telling you, they know the Filipino American nurses as compassionate and excellent nurses. I'm proud to say that, because in my conversation with the ANA president, Dr. Kennedy, she knows that. She knows it. And wherever you go, the Filipino nurses are recognized for that. And we have to be proud. So then promote the Filipino American nurses by telling the people who we are, our united voices. We care.
That's
So,
right.
thank
Yes.
you.
And we have to be bold in promoting our community out there. We need to be heard. So anyway, we're gonna drop who's the winner for tonight. So are we ready to see who won among our viewers? Yay! Let's see. Dun dun dun. There. Okay, there you go. All right, Aramina Ungria, congratulations. So you will be notified, or you can message me on my messenger, MJ Verzosa Concepcion, and you will know how to claim your prize. Again, Dr. Briones, thank you so much. I am really thrilled and I'm so honored that you accepted my invitation. I am very, very happy and very privileged that I had this time to chat with you, and our viewers definitely have learned a lot from you. So for all our viewers, again, thank you for tuning in tonight. Please watch us again next week, Monday, 7 Central Standard Time. Here at 𝙒𝙗𝙗, go out there, claim your greatness and your special talent, skills, and your purpose, because everyone has a purpose to fulfill in life, and that we can make a big difference. Be bold. Why not? Good night, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Briones.
Good night. Good night. Yeah.